My partner's dad walked in on my partner giving me the Hok Twa Gok Gok 3000 treatment. He said he saw my pupils dilated as I was clearly aroused and my arms above my head, and he saw my armpit hair and got this overwhelming sense of wanting to bliss me out with doing the deed, but made it clear that he didn't want to have intercourse with me. He said it wasn't in a sexual way, but a sensual way because he wanted me to embrace my goddess, spiritual term for inner self as a sexual/sensual being. On top of all that, he told me that my earthly goddess, physical form, was beautiful, and that he really likes my neck and the shape of my breasts. He claims he just wants me to be confident in myself and not be self-conscious because I have nothing to be self-conscious about, and I'm a beautiful young woman who is more powerful than I realize, and I should carry myself around the world with that knowledge. He admitted that he was ashamed for thinking what he thought and for visualizing it and everything, but that he wanted me to walk away from the conversation feeling good about myself because that's how he intended all of that to come across. I don't think he's talked about it to anyone else, and I haven't told my partner yet, partly because I don't know how, but also because I'm still trying to understand it all myself. I trust him and I know he wouldn't do anything to me that I didn't want, but there's just this unease I feel around him now, and he looks at me almost like there's this secret between us, and it's really unsettling. I don't want my partner to confront him about it because what if he takes it the wrong way, or what if I've taken it the wrong way and it was all harmless? I really don't know how I feel about it all. Obviously, I'm embarrassed that he's seen me in such a vulnerable position, and the fact that he wanted to bliss me out like that is really weird, but maybe I'm reading into it more than I should, and he's just talking about me embracing my goddess and learning to balance my energy. It's been a couple of days since the talk and I'm so confused, and I want to tell my partner, but I just don't know how to. Edit. When he mentions seeing my armpit hair, the reason he wanted to bliss me out is apparently because he likes things to be natural, and he said it could be called a fetish, which made me really uncomfy and super conscious of my t-shirt sleeves whenever he's around. Little update. Last night I was making tea, and when he came up to grab his mug he brushed my hair away and was looking at my neck. It made me so incredibly uncomfortable, and I'm definitely going to tell my partner. He's been saying a lot lately about how his memory isn't what it used to be, and sometimes he can't get words out when he knows what he wants to say, so I'm going to bring up that it could be some sort of health concern when I talk to my partner. Thank you so much to everyone who offered help and support. Update. I told my partner and they were shocked and disgusted that their dad would do/say something like that. They've been super protective of me and not let me be alone with him at all, and the only reason they haven't gone nuclear on him is because I asked them not to. He got me alone again this morning when my partner was out at work and no one else was home, and we talked about how it was uncomfortable, and it really just sounded creepy the way he was trying to justify it all. He brushed my hair away from my neck and held my face, and I said it was uncomfortable and didn't like it, and he kept doing it and just said some BS about me needing to learn to be comfortable being vulnerable, and asked myself why I'm uncomfortable, and it was just a really unsettling thing, especially because he did all that while claiming he respected my boundaries. He said he wanted to consume me and talked about how he wants to help teach me how to harness and embrace my goddess, and when I told him I didn't like that he brought up so much sexual stuff, he said that that was a part of getting to know yourself and learning what you like, and it just made me feel so icky. I'll keep updating as things progress and keep myself safe. Thank you so much to everyone who gave advice, and especially to those of you who are spiritual/tantric practitioners who said it wasn't normal behavior. You helped validate my experience and feelings, and I feel less guilty. Update. So since everything in that post happened, me and my partner and him all talked about it, and it was awkward and horrible, but in the end I thought we'd resolved it, or at least come to some sort of conclusion. Since then everything's been relatively normal. But today my partner's dad came into my work to talk to me about everything. I work in a pretty small store, so it's quiet most of the time. In essence, he said that seeing me in that vulnerable position, receiving oral 69 from my partner, unlocked his feminine side. Spiritually, he told me that he's a lesbian, but he doesn't want to change his gender or anything, and that he doesn't see me as someone he wants to do the deed with, but as a lesbian lover. He said he loves my insecurities, and he loves that I have insecurities because I don't need them. I'm very beautiful and I have a beautiful body, and he's jealous of me. He admitted that when I gave him a hug recently he nearly kissed the nape of my neck, but just as he was about to, he stopped himself because he realized what he was doing. He told me that when we had that big chat with my partner about everything, it hurt that we saw him as a dirty old man, but if I saw him as a dirty lesbian it would be fine. He said that every moment he's focusing on me, he's making love to me. Spiritually, he said that he doesn't get erections anymore. Obviously he said not to tell anyone, and that's where I'm torn. It's such a bizarre thing for him to say to me, and I don't want to tell him if that is genuinely how he feels, but it's seriously making me so uncomfortable, and I just don't know how to deal with it on my own. Also, how the frick do I just say to my partner, hey, your dad told me he's a lesbian? When he said goodnight to me just now, I was alone in the kitchen and he put a hand on my shoulder and said, "You are so beautiful." I just kind of looked at him and didn't say anything. I've already told him my boundaries and that I don't in any way reciprocate those feelings, but he doesn't seem to respect that or understand that I'm uncomfortable because that was never his intention, and in him saying all those things he just wants me to be confident in myself because I'm beautiful and he adores me. I genuinely don't know what to do. This is such a freaking weird situation and I can't deal with it. I told my best friend and she said it's serious hair as mint and I need to find another place to live. After the whole nearly kissing me thing, I don't have much faith that he wouldn't actually do something or try something and I'm so scared. I was finally at a point in my life where I was relatively happy and confident in myself and he's just taken it all away from me. I want to change every part of myself so he won't be attracted to me. I want to shave everything. Body hair is a fetish of his and when I told him I wanted to shave my armpits because of him he said don't do that, they're beautiful, and get more tattoos or cover myself in scars. He likes clean skin, just so he won't find me beautiful anymore. I hate that he's got this much power over me but I just don't know what to do. Update, TLDR of my previous posts. My partner's dad has been harassing me and trying to pass it off as some spiritual BS. Then he said he sees me as a lesbian lover, but that he isn't trans or anything. Okay, update, everything was fine. I thought we'd moved past it. Famous last words. I know, he went for a walk a couple days ago and sent me this text. Please don't share. The problem with having a pancake butt combined with a muffin top is that the muffin pushes down on my pants and there's nothing there to hold them up, just my slippery slide butt. So whenever I go on a walk, I'm constantly pulling up my jocks and jeans without trying to be noticed. To add insult to injury, when I lose weight, the pancake gets flatter and the muffin seems to stay the same. I'm cursed, weary face. I like pancakes on their own but those days are gone for me. What the actual frick? How is this on any level okay? What could have possibly possessed him to think this was an okay thing to send to his son's partner? Then he goes around the house making all these comments about how he's alone and no one cares and he's always freaking up and embarrassing himself and he doesn't deserve she. I'm freaking miserable, but it's not financially viable for me right now to move out. I don't have my license or a car, neither does my partner, and my work is a short walk from the house so I couldn't even move too far away unless I transferred to a different store, which I don't know if I could do. Plus there's a bunch of other stuff I can't go into without sacrificing my anonymity. I need to get out of here but I just don't know how. Story 2. I took my female friend for dinner when my girlfriend cancelled at the last minute. Now she wants to break up. I have started to date my now GF. We have been together for 4 months but we know each other from school days. Here is the thing. I am feeling disconnected from her for the past week and I think it is my fault as my previous relationships ended badly. I got cheated on by both of my previous girlfriends. When we started dating, I told her about all of this. So last week, I wanted to take her out for a movie but she cancelled it at the last minute, and last Sunday wanted to take her out for dinner at a restaurant that she has been talking about. I informed and made the reservations for the dinner, but she again cancelled at the last minute, so I took my good friend instead. We had a good time. She posted it on her Instagram. I don't use social media and don't like taking pictures. My girlfriend freaked out and started accusing me of cheating on her. I have tried to talk to her, but she is adamant that I am cheating. I gave her my phone and access to all my accounts to check, but she said that I might have deleted everything. I told her that the only reason I took my female friend was because she cancelled at the last minute. She blew up and started shouting that I wanted to make her jealous by taking someone else for dinner. I left her house and don't know if I want to stay with her to make this work or just walk away. Story 3. My mom is entitled towards me and my dad. My mom is entitled. We spend lots of money to make her happy just for her to say she does all the work in the house. Not everything is done by me, but I should be able to have an opinion since I do a fair share of it, maybe about 30%, but she has taken it too far these past 4 years since COVID. I got to see parts of her that I would never see if I could go back to school. I saw 4 phases. Narcissist, that brags about how people always see her as mean. Spoiled, men don't have periods so they shouldn't be able to complain. Everyone else needs to do more exercise with the exception of me and me only. Currently, I'm at stage 5, and me and my dad talk about her and how it's getting worse every day. She has to get surgery to stop her from having periods, forgot the name, and that hasn't stopped her from bragging to every relative that she is going to get her surgery. And after her surgery, she will be in bed for 6 months, meaning the toll will be me and my dad doing all the housework, and my sister, who has been taught every bad thing by mom, will not be helping because she's strong mentally, and all you need in life is that. As I recall last year, my mom and dad had a fight where he offered to take her and him out to eat, but he told her it was a bad idea because he just bought the groceries and his paycheck wasn't for another 3 days. They went out anyway, and being the entitled a-hole that she was, she complained that he took her to the mall food court. He spent $67 Canadian for 2 people to have lunch and wasn't able to pay $140 for lunch at some weird hipster restaurant. I resent her for this, and fast forward 4 weeks, they go out again, and he asks for directions to the place, and she flat out lies and tells him the wrong street numbers, and they come home, they then fight at home, and she pulls me into her childish fight. Me and my need therapy. She doesn't need counseling, only me and my dad do. We also need to go to the gym to work out more, even though I'm perfectly fit and can do more than 8 times the average for push-ups, even more so I hadn't been fat for 2 years prior to that, and I need to work out more. She usually asks me if she does anything wrong when she lets me out of school to go to a store, and I say no always because it brings her pleasure knowing she's perfect, but next time she says something, I will confront her.